Hey guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Mariah, and today's video is going to be my testimony on how God gave me an apartment that not only exceeded my expectations, but that I didn't have to pay anything for, and even when I owed apartments and had terrible credit. So if that's something that you're interested in, or definitely a testimony that you need to hear, then please, I encourage you to continue watching this video. And I hope that it gives you revelation. I hope that it gives you just bigger, deeper trust and understanding on your situation. I really definitely pray that this helps you in any way that is needed. So yeah, without further ado, let's continue. Just to give you a little bit of backstory, I'm 24 years old and I've never really lived on my own. As soon as I was able to move out at the age of 18, I moved in with a boyfriend and lived with him for a while. Then I lived in my car for a bit. Don't worry, that's not a sad situation. I chose to do that. And then I lived with another boyfriend, and then I lived with my mom, and just like, I've never officially been able to really live on my own and truly provide and take care of myself, or just, have anything of my own that was like that. So I was in a relationship with somebody that I was with for 3 years, and we were living together. The cost of things were either he paid for all of it, or I would take care of some things, he would take care of the rent, or sometimes it would always be paid for because, like, I don't know, it's a weird situation. I'm Native American, so like I would get certain funding that would help. He was military, so he would get certain funding that would help. So it's just like this whole thing. And our relationship was toxic and it was dead, and I'm not really going to get into detail on it. However, I am going to have a separate video based on that relationship alone, because I know when it comes to abuse, whether that's mental abuse, sexual abuse, all those different things, I know as women it can be hard to be it can feel hard to leave those situations, and that's definitely a relationship that God delivered me from, and I'm going to be making a video on that next. So if that's something that you're interested in, I hope that you would subscribe and follow along, or at least watch that video, because I know that it will give you the revelation that you need to get out of the relationship that is like that. But like I said, I'm not going to get into detail about it. But that relationship was hard. It was toxic. It was disgusting. It was something that was definitely demonic. And I know that sounds insane, but yeah. And it was something that was deep rooted from when I was a child with my dad, where I couldn't leave the relationship. There's a lot of factors in my childhood that played a role in this, where I didn't feel like I could leave not only the relationship, but be able to live on my own and support myself. Even though I had a great job, I was an orthodontist assistant, and that was more so a security blanket. I made good money, pretty awesome money actually, doing that job. It wasn't fulfilling, and it wasn't a part of my purpose, and nothing to do with it. It was kind of just a distraction that was a safety net. Anyways, so I was living with him, and he was supporting me towards the end of my relationship. And I knew for a long time, honestly, probably like 6 months to a year, where I know God was wanting me to leave that relationship. But I was scared, because in my mind, I was like, God, how am I going to support myself? How am I going to pay bills? How can I get an apartment, God? Because at this time I owed 2 apartments, not 1, but 2 apartments. I owed one in Colorado back home, and then I owed one in Los Angeles from when I was living there. And I was like, God, how am I going to do this? I'm not going to get approved to live anywhere. My credit was shot. My credit was super low. Well, it wasn't super low. It was like 600. But, these days, you need like 700, 750, all this craziness. But anyways, so I was like, God, I was really doubting him. I really was, but then I would say things on the side like, oh God, make my trust stronger, like the Ocean song, like without borders, God without borders, and he's like, okay, well, like he's trying to do that, but I wasn't allowing it to happen. So then I was like, okay, God. I started serving in my church, and I was working full time there, and I wasn't getting paid, obviously, right? It was a service. And I was like, okay, God, I'm doing this because I'm trusting that you have a plan, and he has a plan, always. It's amazing. Oh, he's like always just he's always going to be so many steps ahead, like literally, it's insane. But anyway, so then my relationship started getting really, really bad, and I could not live there anymore. It was becoming a dangerous situation, not only mentally, but physically for myself. My bishop knew about some of the things going on because I had shared that with him. And, you know, it's really hard because it's like you don't want everybody involved in the stuff that you have going on, but at the same time, like your safety is important. So then I was like, okay, God, I'm going through so much right now. I was at my brink's end. I was literally going to live in my car. Low-key bluffing though, because I feel like it's a little scary to do that here in Oregon. Anyways, so then I was like, okay, God, well, what do you want me to do? Because I want to leave, but I don't have the finances to do so. I want to leave, but my credit is shot. I want to leave, but I owe 2 apartments. I want to leave, but, and I had an excuse. Any excuse you can come up with, I came up with. But God, I love him. No, you don't. Shut up. You don't love him. Oh, but God, I don't want to leave him. But God, I don't know. You're scared and you're insecure. That's what I was dealing with at that time. I was just scared. I was scared of what was going to happen. I was scared I wasn't going to be able to do it. I was scared that I was going to be disappointed. And there were so many things I was scared of. And so when you ask God to put his hand in it, right? Well, he sure did. God put an end to that relationship. And I was terrified because I got kicked out. I had no choice. He kicked me out. He threw my stuff outside, told me to get lost. It was insane. And so I was like, okay, God, well, what do I do? Thankfully, I had built relationships with people at my church, and somebody had let me stay the night at their house that night, which was truly a blessing. And I love them so much for that. And then I had another friend who allowed me to live with her for like 2 weeks, which is another blessing, you know, thank you, God. So when I was staying with my friend for these 2 weeks, it's so interesting because the landlord was friends of hers. Her landlord was her friend. And then she had told the landlord about some things about me, and kind of like sharing my story and stuff in a little bit. And it's crazy because her landlord and me had spoke, and she was like, if you can come up with the funds for this apartment is yours. And she basically took it off like the market to other people and was like, this is yours. I'm not going to do a credit check, not going to do background check, none of that. She's like, this is yours. And I have faith in you that you're going to, you know, do what needs to be done. When I tell you my mind was, like my mind was blown, because I was like, what? Not going to run my background, which is fine, but still not going to do a credit check, not going to check my income, like nothing. I was like, okay. And it felt too good to be true. And I was like, okay, God. But then my mind, it hit me, and the enemy is a lie. Devil's a lie. Then I was like, oh, but God, she said finances. If I can have the finances to this place, if I can provide the money to move in, I can move in. But God, I don't have that. Probably have maybe $200 in my bank account. So God, I don't have that to move in. See, God. And I was getting ready to throw in the towel. I was like, you know what, God, see, this is what I get. I have to go back to my ex-boyfriend. And I was getting ready to text him to go back to him, because I was like, well, how am I going to support myself? I need to apologize and get in good standing with him again. No. Don't do that. Do not do that. So then God does what he does. And there's a woman in my church who owns a business, who helps women that are in situations like that helps them. And it was literally, not only did I get this apartment approved for without anything, because God is amazing, but I didn't have to pay my moving costs. Now this is where this gets exciting. God is not just going to give you something, right? He's going to prepare you for it. God is not just going to give you something and then just be like, oh yeah, peace out. No, that's not the God that I serve. And not only did I get my moving costs paid for, but I got an extra month paid for, so that I can be able to truly support myself. And not to mention, they're also going to pay for me to go to a furniture place to get a bunch of furniture. And then one more thing is that I have to start taking classes once a month that are on budgeting, living on your own. Like, they're literally like the basic things that I don't know, truly. And I'm not embarrassed to say, I don't know them. I don't know how to live on my own. I've never done that before. So these are all new things that I'm learning. And so God not only gave me a place, and I have the finances because God blessed me with my dream job. But it's crazy, because if you truly have faith and trust, and before I was able to go back into that relationship, I was like, know what, God, no, I'm gonna trust you. I'm scared, but whom shall we fear, right? But I was still scared. But then I had to just step out of my mind for a minute and just really, really trust in him. And every day when I wake up in my apartment, it's insane, because I was like, oh, God, get me a studio, God, because, or God, a room for rent, I'll take whatever. He exceeded that. He gave me a 1-bedroom apartment with a backyard. It's beautiful. I love it here. I'm still getting it furnished, and I'm gonna do probably a tour video once I get more furniture, because I'm still in the works of getting things together. But I really felt in my spirit that this video needed to go out, because somebody needed to hear it, because somebody needs faith in that. So don't give up on God. Don't give up on the faith. Just have faith and just trust. Just trust in him, because God doesn't need money to make things happen, because this is his world, right? And God will fund his purpose. If this is a part of the plan that he has for you, it's funded. You have to have trust, and you have to have faith in that. And it will take you so far. I'm so blessed. I'm so thankful. I'm so grateful. And there's no shame in where you're at all. Because 24 and I'm officially living on my own, and that's an insane feeling to have. And God gave me the job to be able to pay for all my costs. Like, I don't worry about my bills not being paid, because seek the kingdom first. I don't worry about anything that I do not need to worry about, because there's so much more that you have to do, and paying your bills shouldn't be a worry. So I hope that this video helped you. I pray that it gave you revelation. I pray that you continue to stay on the path that you need to be on. I pray that God continues to push your trust, and honestly to just break you into pieces, because being broken into pieces, just, you gain so much more knowledge, right? And you become more wise, and it's an amazing thing. So I hope that you enjoyed this video. Please like and subscribe, and I'm going to start making content, and I'm going to be posting every Sunday as of right now. If I can do more, I will, but baby steps. I at least want to get a video in every Sunday, and then follow my TikTok and my Instagram and everything like that. Bye.